The young man that is bringing down the American flag is Sergeant James Hart, ladies and gentlemen. He's being circled by the Red Baron Stearman Squadron, 4 World War II Stearman biplanes. You got it. Okay, we'll keep our eyes on him now. And when he deploys the American flag, at an appropriate time, we will ask you to stand and on cover. And we will stand here in awe of a symbol of freedom in this great world of ours, ladies and gentlemen. Is that a thing to take a picture of or what? Be sure you snap that and take it home in this beautiful blue Tennessee sky. It don't get no better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Just a little bit later, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Tick, to where you will meet in case you're separated. This makes things a lot easier. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant James Hart. From the early days of flight to the first jump on the moon,
Man has relied extensively on a small deceleration device known as a parachute, created initially to save a pilot's life as he thanking each and every one of you for the hospitality you've given us as we arrived here in Tennessee. All right, come on, ladies and gentlemen, yell, scream, let's hear you say something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the people in Indiana are better than this. Come on, let's scream. If you like what you see, let me hear you give me a, oh yeah. Watch the jumper bring him the POWMI flag. Brings it in, flaring for a beautiful stand-up landing. And down on show right is their Tennessee state flag. The remaining jumpers are coming down on the other end of the show line. So let's hear you scream down there. Come on, Tennessee. I know you don't want to be outdone by the people in Indiana. Let's make some noise. This next jumper is doing a little bit of profile for the people at Show Center. Jumper going to be bringing in the Tennessee state flag here at Show Center. This will make a beautiful photo opportunity, so get your cameras ready. The sun is the backdrop, so get your cameras ready for the perfect photo opportunity. The jumper here is Sergeant Michi Cheville. She's a Tennessee representative. She's from Nashville, Tennessee. So give her some claps. Give them a wave, Michi. And the crew chief and the co-pilot is CW3 Powell.
That's our Mozart.
As the aircraft dives down to gain speed, it's accelerating to speeds of well over 300 knots. So give them a round of applause. As they get to Show Center, they'll pull up the nose and fake it to the left for a beautiful photo opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our performance for today. On behalf of the entire team, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being such a warm and receptive airborne audience. And in closing, I'd like to leave you with this final song. In the future, may all your days be prosperous and your nights golden.
And watch that afterburner take off. He puts pedal to the metal, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Get ready to plug your ears. There we go. Yeah. Look at down there. I always tell the folks that's enough fuel to heat a Minnesota home all winter. They will be making a formation landing, incidentally. See, the way I look at it, they're taking a load of folks that could have been here. They're going to miss this whole wonderful day we're doing. But I expect they got something else to do, and that's just the way it is, you know. You know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from your right, the Eagles push on by.
coming in from the right, the two F-15s on landing approach. Told ya, they're going back around. F-16. Now from the left, the two F-16, the great example of a first-line fighter aircraft flown by citizen airmen of the Air National Guard. Now that looks like fun.
In just a minute here, we'll put it up on its tail and put the smoke on, go straight away from it. And receive it.
Off the ground, so let's go up and tell Leo that the air boss has okayed him to begin his performance now that he is airborne, and maybe we can get Leo to say an advance word to us. Leo, can you read it? Be happy. Well, Big B, it's showtime, my friend. Speed's coming up. We're coming back in for our opening salute. Yeah, but little red guard is up, B. Setting up the speed. I want to welcome this wonderful air show audience. On behalf of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch of St. Louis, Missouri, and Eagle Distributing. It's showtime, my friend. B, what a day for an air show. Looking forward to it. Smoke's coming on. It's all yours.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, from your left front, Looper will be setting up, and I want you to watch. Now, keep your eye right on that little jet, because this is our signature. This is our signature. Yeah, there it is. Whoa! A big salute to the wonderful crowd here at Knoxville. Thank you, folks, and thank you, Leo. And I love to say, after that little demonstration, to all the Air Force people, can yourself through that? Here he comes now, back on this, coming down side of the little microjet, and this time he's going to come right down for a high-speed pass. What's high speed in the little jets? Well, we have a top speed of 350 miles an hour. That's what we're tested to, and with that new engine, we can certainly do that. We have a self-imposed red line of around 300 miles an hour to try and keep it not too far off the wall. Now, Leo's coming down, and yesterday he mowed the grass on this run. We asked you to hold it up a little bit so everybody could see it a little better. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, right at 300 miles an hour straight down the shoreline. You see the little Bud Light microjet. That jet is 12 feet long, has a wingspan of 17 feet. The weight of the jet is approximately 450 pounds, so by the time we put Looper in there, he's having fun. Way up, spinning around, getting ready to set up for the next. I started to say that when we put Looper in there, of course, we put some burn aboard for the jet engine, so we're taking off at about 750 pounds. Now, coming out of that beautiful turnaround down at the far end, this time Looper will come back and do what we call the knife edge and set it right up over on the side. There it is. Woo! It's really looking good, Looper. It's fire. What a sky. Gary Van Kempen arranged the weather for us today, ladies and gentlemen. He'll probably put some precision points on the end of that tubing as he flies it. That jet can climb at a rate of 3,000 feet a minute, which is a pretty good climb rate for that small an engine. Oh, is that pretty. If the wind doesn't blow it away, you'll see that when Leo comes down and does the backside of that cubinate, he will form a perfect X right out in front of it. Oh, yep, little precision roll there coming out of it. That's what we call a 4 of 8. In other words, he doesn't go all the way around, so we call it a 4 of 8 on that downside of that very beautiful cubing. We also should mention to you that we have a roll rate of 270 degrees a second, which, again, is just as maneuverable as the rest of them. Hey, Leo, we didn't say a full twist. Jerry, I don't think you've seen that before, and I won't ask you to respond, but that's the first time I've ever seen anybody with a jet do a complete unvertical roll. Is that what you call it, an unvertical roll? Way up on the far side, going out that end. And this time he'll come back with a lot of smack right in front of the crowd and do what we call a Leo pullout. We named this one for the boss because he's the one that put this maneuver into our act. He'll come right here in front of the crowd and set up, go right straight away from us with the smoke on, and so we get a close center point look at the jet going right up in the air. There he goes. Way up. Now he'll belly up. In other words, he'll turn his belly right towards us, go straight away, head out away from us, and then turn around. By the way, Looper's from Thompson Station, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. My wife Teresa and I, the ground crew, we're out of Pensacola, Florida, is my son Bill. And Jack Eckel, who also flies in jets, is out of Houston, Texas. So we're pretty diversified in our little Air Force. Now this time, Leo's going to do a picture pass. And he'll slow it down a whole lot for this, folks, so that we get a much better look at the little jet as it comes by this time of doing it. I want to mention as part of that, since he's slowing it down, we have a 12-to-1, believe it or not, 12-to-1 glide ratio. There it is, a beautiful picture pass right down the line so you can see it. I have a 12-to-1 glide ratio. If Leo's a mile in the sky, he could glide for 12 miles if he's at 200 miles an hour, which is a remarkable glide ratio. And also, we must tell you that very important thing is that we have a ability to withstand 9 Gs plus and minus.
Now let's go up to Leo and ask him to talk to us from the cockpit. Leo, can you read us, and are you ready to talk back to us?
Yes, sir, Bill. We call this the peekaboo gear pass. One of my favorite things. What's one of the biggest problems is getting this little microjet slowed down faster in the world. Here we go. Reverse is off. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you see it. Now you don't. And for the folks up at the other end, power's coming up. Now you see it. Now you don't.
Okay, thank you, Leo. Everybody's just Vicky. How in the world can that landing gear go up and down so fast? How can that little jet go up to 350 miles an hour? Well, let me tell you, without the help of nice people like Robert Elliman over at Eagle Distributing Company, get that. Here he comes. Here he comes, right down the line. Oh, yeah, that's what we call a rack act run, ladies and gentlemen. We have tried, now that makes 222 times that we have tried to knock that plane out of the air with a rack act. We miss him every time. Yeah, thank you, Leo. That's a beautiful, beautiful maneuver, and I hope you were watching this little bit into the sun right there. We couldn't see it too well, but I couldn't see whether the plane fell forward or backward as he came out of that. But anyway, that is a tough maneuver and only 30 miles an hour. It goes up. Now on its back, the Tornado.
Jan Jones comes from LaPorte, Indiana, and she's the one you've been waiting for. You may have read about her in the newspaper. You may have seen her on TV. She is the only woman to fly into this air show this weekend. Now she's heading off to the left-hand box. She's going to do a hammerhead turnaround. It's for the Staudacher S600 as the sun glints off its wings. Jan only started flying about 4.5 years ago. She's moved to the air show circuit, through to flying. However, in her history, she has become the 1992 U.S. National Sportsman Champion, the Fond du Lac International Champion, and the Illinois State Champion. Now she's heading back towards the Air Show Center, and here comes the Bud Light Jet taxiing up. Say hello to Loudenslager, and Jan gets ready for a loop. But not just a normal loop. It's a loop with a 4-point roll on the top. Here she comes. Nose goes up, first part of the arc. Point 1, point 2, over the top for point 3, and then down for point 4. I'd like to remind you that Jan today is working without a net. Half to the turnaround to get her positioned, ready to come back towards Air Show Center. In her air show career, she enjoys performing in front of groups like you, but in her competition career, she does maneuvers that are very unusual. This is one that you might see in a competition maneuver, which is a 45-degree climb with a 4-point roll. Very difficult to do correctly. And look at the power of that Japco 370 horsepower engine as it pulls her up to about 2,000 feet. When Jan gets on the ground with her aircraft, you get a chance. Go take a look at the propeller. It's a very unusual design. It's a special designer-painted propeller. It was painted for her and just received as a gift from American Propeller in Redding, California. Very unusual. You won't see very many like it. All right, she's ready now for a maneuver called a knife-edge spin. Very few airplanes and even fewer pilots will do this. She goes up as though it's a hammerhead. But at the top of the hammerhead, instead of kicking rudder, you're going to see that airplane fall over on its knife edge and spin back down. And here it comes. 2 turns. 1 turn. 2 turns. Oh my, 3 turns today. As she centers and pulls that airplane back out as the air speed goes for 240, 250, 260 miles an hour as she starts to make her turnaround on the right end zone. Watch that verdict performance of that Staudacher S600. By the way, that Staudacher was built in the United States up in Lake City, Michigan. There are 14 of them. There are only 4 that are 2 seats. Jan's is a 2-seat so that she can take test rides and media rides. Now she's coming back towards center box. It's time for some snap rolls. Let's see how many she can do. 1, 2, 3, 4 snap rolls. Followed by a little unwinding. And a couple of explosions off her wingtips. All right. Jan's airplane weighs about 1,359 pounds, has incredible vertical performance. But interestingly enough, though it's only 1 year old, it's made of pretty common material. The wings are wood, the fuselage is tube, and much of the surface is covered by fabric, just the way they were made when the Wright brothers put them together. This particular one has some carbon fiber in its wings, however, to add to the strength. That airplane has plus 20 through negative 20 degrees. That maneuver you just saw was called a flying saucer. All right, Jan needs some altitude for her next maneuver. She's going to do an Immelman turn, which is a half loop with a half roll on top. Immelman turn was named for Max Immelman, who was a World War I fighter ace. Interestingly enough, Max Immelman's airplane was not capable of doing an Immelman, so we have a maneuver named for a man who never did one. All right, Jan's gaining some altitude because she wants to do a maneuver called the Loudenslager. You may have heard of them, you may have seen them. The airplane's going to tumble nose over tail, wingtip over wingtip. And she wants to have a little more altitude because Loudenslagers are notorious for falling into inverted power-on spin. So now as she gets ready, she's going to do a half tube and turnaround, and then the Loudenslager. All right, she's getting ready to come to Airshow Center. Get ready, get your cameras. And there it goes. A wicked Loudenslager. Lots of negative G's in that. When Jan gets in her airplane, she straps down real tight. Her head is 6 inches from the canopy. During that Loudenslager, her back literally stretches 6 inches, and her kicks the rudder. Airplane comes down. She's watching the ground come up toward her windscreen. Airspeed once again is building. About 240 now, 260. About 280 miles an hour. She heads towards Airshow Center. All right, kick comes back. Nose goes up. And now the airplane's in the tornado. By the way, I'd like to remind you that Jan is a professional. Please do not try this at home. All right, right end zone. Jan's going to do a shark tooth turnaround. Then the next maneuver you're going to see is a maneuver that only Jan Jones does. It's called the Staudacher Stumble, named after the builder of this particular airplane. You're going to see the Staudacher go end over end in a tumbling motion, totally under control. It's going to do 3 flips right at Airshow Center. Get your cameras ready. This is one you'll want for your scrapbook. Here comes the Staudacher Stumble. Listen to that Jasper 370 horsepower engine roar. Tries to pull it back out of that stumble. All right, time for Jan to get back around towards Airshow Center with a wing-over turnaround. This is the most complicated maneuver Jan shows. It's a 360 rolling turn with 8 rolls, kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. But of course, she's doing it at 180 miles an hour. All right, here she comes as she reaches Airshow Center. And there she goes. Halfway around. A 360-degree rolling circle with 8 rolls. All right, she's setting up to try a new maneuver that she has just introduced this year. It's called the Hummingbird. She's going to slow that airplane down. It's going to fly as slow as she possibly can make it. In fact, she's going to try to get it down below 60 miles an hour today. And, here comes those strobe lights I talked about. Watch on her wingtips. Strobe lights are flashing. That's a pyrotechnic as she gets ready to do the Hummingbird. As I said, she's going to slow fly this airplane right down the center line, but she's going to do it upside down. Now, if we had a little more headwind today, you'd see that airplane literally stop in the sky. Sometimes it'll even go backwards. There it is, the Hummingbird, upside down, inverted, slow flight with that Staudacher F600 with that Jasper 370 horsepower engine pulling her through the sky. Those flashing lights on our wingtips to be seen from 5 miles away. Now, power comes back up. Jan's getting ready now to come back towards Airshow Center. One more turnaround figure. And it's just about time for Jan to lose it. And when she finishes up, about an hour from right now, she will be right by the Stearman Red Baron trailer, signing autographs and giving away 3 pictures of her and her airplane. So stop by here in about 1 hour. Here she comes down the flight line. If she sees you wave, she'll wave back. Yes, she saw you. And here she comes, Jan Jones, LaPorte, Indiana. Climbing back up to set up for her landing. Please be sure to welcome her when she finally gets down to the Airshow Center. And I think it's time to give this microphone back to the amazing Jerry Van Kempton, the announcer for our Airshow today.
Rolling completely around the other one upside down, and they'll stare each other right into
the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Thompson and Mr. Charles Hobart. And now, stay looking to your left, because I'm going to show you something right now that is so fantastic with these old 3,000-pound airplanes. You're going to say, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the smoke is out 80 miles an hour. Jim, send it up with the rapid rate one to pull back. Right now, they back out here. We call that an avalanche. We call it an avalanche and snap on top of the loop. And I'm going to tell you something, that'll ruin your fruit of the looms if you don't do it right. An outstanding maneuver, pizza, tours the entire United States with these airplanes. And right overhead now in our final sequence, a great diamond sequence. Get your cameras out and let me show you a diamond formation barrel roll in the sky. Beautiful barrel roll, up and over and again, kids, I say, don't look at the sun. And now a big diamond turnaround. The airplane's making a tight turn in diamond formation, and they'll show you a beautiful 1930s diamond loop, ladies and gentlemen. Again, back on the stick. Positive G's, maintaining about 1.5 positive. If you had a glass of milk sitting on the dashboard, it would not spill. Hey, I want you to take a picture. All four of those airplanes going straight up in a diamond formation. Watch and see what they do, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to take a picture because they are a pivot. We call that a diamond cluster hammerhead turnaround. And they will now form up and make a 360-degree turn. Now, you might want to get a picture of this, folks, because it's a beautiful thing. 4 vintage Stearman biplanes in diamond formation, saluting you, this great, great Tennessee crowd of aviation enthusiasts. That's the way it was in 1930. That's the way it is today for Red Baron. And again, we want to thank you for going to your grocery store and that's all we say is try it one time. Hey, you've been a great audience. I want to thank you so very much. We will be autographing pictures, colored pictures, right behind the Red Baron tent. Half of a Cubanate. John Holman, Steve Thompson, Randy Brink, and last but not least, Mr. Jim Sonny Lovelace. We have beautiful colored pictures, as I say. If you want to start lining up after the pilots are debriefed, we'll sign a picture for you gladly. We want to see you personally. God bless you. Thank you so much for your attention. Hey, we had a good time. I hope you did.
Flyby, world champion Leo Loudenslager, and also the U.S. Thunderbirds demonstration team. All coming up later. Sophisticated technology. As a result, blimps continue to fascinate people today as much as, if not more than, Zeppelins did more than a century ago. The Bud 1 Airship is a precision instrument guided in delicate ways by a contemporary application of power, design, material, and machinery, and is operated by a crew of 25 linesmen, mechanics, and pilots. The pilot orchestrates each voyage from an instrument panel of highly advanced navigation and communication equipment, and the ground crew and airport control towers are in constant communication with the airship during flight. a coated synthetic fabric called the envelope covers the airship with red and white hues of Budweiser. Although the envelope appears to be taut, it's actually extremely fine and distinguishes contemporary airships from the metal zeppelins of yesteryear. The envelope is filled with helium, a non-flammable element which has been used to lift airships for decades. Inside the element are forward and aft chambers, which are expanded and contracted to compensate for changes in helium pressure. Both are controlled by the pilot, and though, as Jerry and I have said many, many times, please refrain from smoking along the flight line around any of the parked aircraft. Thanks.
The Red Baron pilots have arrived at the general area. They'll be soon. Boy, that's a beautiful picture. Oh, that's nice, Paul.
I think it's designed to make me thirsty, Jerry.
You told them there were Porsche engines in that, right?
Yeah, I sure did. I'll bet Porsche didn't put any of those engines in cars, though, Jerry.
Look at him climb. That's beautiful. I bet that'll be a delightful thing to ride in over your beautiful Tennessee landscape. I can't imagine.
There's the pilot chute, and the canopy is now inflated. A perfectly good parachute and can be landed. However, to demonstrate this maneuver, this jumper reaches up, releases one side of the canopy, causing it to malfunction. This parachute is now malfunctioned and cannot be landed. A landing under this parachute would cause severe injury. This jumper releases the parachute, returns to free fall, and deploys the main canopy. Parachutes used by the United States Army parachute team are also constructed of lightweight ripstop nylon. They are also a square parachute and create lift. However, there are two distinct changes. This reserve parachute is much smaller in size. It has a faster forward speed of 30 miles per hour. All members of the Gold Demonstration Team. Notice the jumper pulling down on the control lines to turn the canopy right and left. He'll set up his final approach. Stopping the parachute by bringing the steering lines to his waist. Letting it fly over the top for the elevator effect for a beautiful dead center landing. Of 180 miles per hour. At 8,500 feet, these jumpers turn 180 degrees. Locate a thin trail of smoke on the horizon. Their partner, who looks like that of a guided missile, streaking back towards them at speeds in excess of 180 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, these two jumpers will cross within inches of each other at a combined closing speed of over 300 miles per hour. Watch the left dive. Watch the right dive. Watch for the cross. Sections of the team. Setting up his final approach. Hands at his waist. Letting the parachute fly. Shutting the parachute down for a beautiful target area landing. Jumper number 2, flying the Dare flag, daring all kids in Knoxville, Tennessee to stay off drugs. Wanting to go to school off the first jumper, letting the parachute fly. Gliding it in for a beautiful dead center landing. Night diamond formation. 4 jumpers will exit the aircraft separately, fly together to form the diamond formation. The jumpers are out and the smoke is on. We now have 4 jumpers rapidly approaching speeds of 120 miles per hour. Since vocal commands cannot be heard in free fall, the team leader signals. Each of the jumpers come together using their hands, arms, shoulders, and legs. They are now flying within inches of each other. However, they will never make contact. We now have 1 column of smoke, and each of the jumpers have reached terminal velocity at 120 miles per hour. The team leader is flying the formation directly over the crowd. At 3,500 feet, the team leaders will signal. Each of the jumpers takes their assigned position, streak apart to perform the bomb burst maneuver for Knoxville, Tennessee. And the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Our first jumper, grabbing the front portion of the parachute, pulling it into his chest and spiraling earthward at speeds in excess of 60 miles per hour. This is the team leader and the leader of the diamond formation. You may have guessed, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a traffic jam in the sky. Jumper number 2, 3, and 4, following suit. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes a great deal of concentration to land on the target before you. Each of the jumpers will move their hands up and down in response to the wind corrections. Slowing the parachute down, shutting it down for a beautiful dead center landing. Jumper number 2.
Look at that, right on the deck. Frank Ryder doing a beautiful takeoff and remaining just inches above the deck. He'll pull up now on the other end. Ladies and gentlemen, the smoke is on. Watch him. He'll get up there and put that airplane through a bunch of weird stuff that he calls a Cajun tornado. The Havilland Chipmunk is, a vintage airplane going back to World War II. And an airplane that has trained an awful number of pilots in England, of course. It was a basic trainer, and an airplane that, well, one might say it was not underpowered any more than a Stearman or anything else when it was built. But Frank put power in it. He's made it do what you're going to see today. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left, the outstanding air artistry, and it is an art form the way Frank does it, of Mr. Frank Ryder, as he brings that airplane up on top and dumps it through what he calls a Cajun tornado. And now he needs a little airspeed again. We'll come right down to the stage center and show you a great, big, beautiful, symmetrical loop. Remember what I said before? You gotta...
man's ability to rapidly transition from slow speed to high speed flight.
Diamond pass in review. Rolls on his back to fly inverted next to Thunderbird 6. The Diamond is now approaching from the left. Watch as all four pilots perform simultaneous aileron rolls right at show center.
crossover brakes. Back into the diamond. Here is critical, so let's watch him do it. There's no room for error here in the center of the 5 cars. Now, at show center as they cross in a head-on pass.
Captain Quinn weighed over 1,700 pounds. Now, more high-G performance, this time in diamond formation. Look out front for the Diamond 360. Thunderbirds 5 and 6, look to your right as the team approaches for the Double Bic Bonton. The challenge now is for each Thunderbird to get to the bomber's crossover, which is 500 feet to the right of the crowd line at exactly the same time. Diamond is pulling up into a Ladies and gentlemen, your 1995 Thunderbird and the Thunderbird pitch. Up again. This time. all within the length of the Look to your left once again. This time for the diamond formation and the graceful diamond roll. Just 6 seconds. Thunderbird 5 rolls on his back. The flight inverted next to Thunderbird 6. The arrowhead roll. Toward you, our 2 solo pilots with a breathtaking crossover break. Diamond is now. That, ladies and gentlemen, maneuverability of the F-16. Then, Russ will select full afterburner and power his way into a maximum performance fly. Now, here comes Russ and the high angle pass. High performance turn, 360 degrees with a 1,400-foot radius. So follow it with an absence of 8 at less than 3,500 feet of altitude. Thunderbird Delta pass in review. The Delta flat pass. Colonel Anderson is now reforming his wingman to what is called the double thick 3+3 formation. Preparation for their next maneuver.
Let this rocket wait, just watch
You've seen it before as diamond formation, and now with the addition of Thunderbird 5 and 6, look to your right as the team approaches for the double mix bonton. Now to your left as the Thunderbirds form up for the 5-shift line abreast pass. a maneuver where each pilot flies off the aircraft directly beside him. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps no single maneuver is more closely identified with the Thunderbird than the one you are about to see. Look straight ahead as the team approaches show center for the low bumper. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1995 Thunderbird. Straight down the demonstration line, each pilot will pull his aircraft sharply out of the formation with only 3 seconds spacing. Now, here comes the diamond and the Thunderbird pitch. for the Calypso pitch-up. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Thunderbirds touch down to end another exciting demonstration, it's time to recognize those young men and women who make it happen. The support and maintenance professionals who keep us flying. There are almost 140 people on the Thunderbird team. While only 8 of us fly, the heart of the team is that large group of people who don't fly. People of all ranks and skills. True team players with no one more or less important than the other. Unassuming Americans who work hard to put quality into the mission, and their efforts get results. Thunderbirds have been showing Americans what our Air Force can do for 42 years now. And during all that time, not a single demonstration has been canceled due to a maintenance problem. I'm now going to introduce to you some of the maintenance and support personnel whose commitment to quality helped to keep that record intact. In the center is our line chief, Master Sergeant Rocky Gomez from Omaha, Nebraska. The crew chief of Thunderbird 1 is Technical Sergeant Nikki Edwards from Brooklyn, New York. Assisting him is Staff Sergeant Gary Wessel, an engine specialist from New Salem, Massachusetts. The crew chief of Thunderbird 2 is Staff Sergeant Terry Holman from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Assisting him is Senior Airman Mike Schultz from Fair Oaks, California. The crew chief of Thunderbird 3 is Staff Sergeant Joe Stegman from Wheeling, West Virginia. Assisting him is Technical Sergeant Dwayne Pate, a field system specialist from Parton, Tennessee. The crew chief of Thunderbird 4 is Staff Sergeant Richard Street from Melbourne, Florida. Assisting him is Staff Sergeant John Marito, an egress technician from LaSalle, Colorado. The crew chief of Thunderbird 5 is Staff Sergeant Tim Grunt from Falls Church, Virginia. Assisting him is Senior Airman Rex Davis, an aircraft maintenance specialist from Dothan, Alabama. The crew chief of Thunderbird 6 is Staff Sergeant Carol Murray from Steubenville, Ohio. Assisting him is Staff Sergeant... Ladies and gentlemen, in about 15 minutes, the Thunderbirds will come forward to meet you, and if you'd like, you may get some autographs. However, for your own safety and protection, we ask that you please do not cross the rope line. Remember that anything on the other side of that rope is off limits. We also ask that you follow any instructions given to you by our security personnel or anyone on the Thunderbird team. Ladies and gentlemen, now that our F-16 engines have shut down, the Thunderbirds mark the completion of today's aerial demonstration. We're pleased to have been with you today to fly for you and to show you something of the quality and action and pride of performance that are very much a part of today's United States Air Force. Now, for your continuing support of our Air Force and the men and women who proudly wear its uniform, the Thunderbirds offer their special salute to their good friends here at McGhee, Tyson, the citizens of Knoxville and Alcoa, and the people of the great state of Tennessee.
Take it easy, John. Okay.